And it is now being announced that Stefon Diggs not only lost the Super Bowl, he also lost his girl in the same night. Everybody wanted to see her at the games. They wanted to know her opinions, you know. They wanted to see her support.
Cardi B gave Stefon Diggs everything, her support, her voice, and her loyalty. But on Super Bowl Sunday, everything changed in just one night. Reports started flying that he might have brought another woman into his hotel after the big game loss, and people online couldn't stop talking. To make things even messier, Offset jumped in claiming he was the real winner without even stepping on the field. If you could pause time on February 8, 2026, you'd see what was supposed to be one of the most unforgettable nights of Cardi B's career. Her man, New England Patriots wide receiver Stefon Diggs, was gearing up to play in Super Bowl LX at Levi's Stadium. Cardi had been his biggest supporter all season, every game, every highlight, every tough moment. She wasn't just watching from the sidelines, she was in the stands, cheering louder than anyone, dressed like she could run a route herself. Online, she turned her love into a story the internet couldn't get enough of, posting, showing up at games, and hyping him up non-stop. Fans compared them to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, saying they were the next big power couple in sports and music. And honestly, for a while, that comparison made sense. Cameras found her at every game, media outlets chased her reactions, and social platforms lit up every Sunday like it was the next episode of a live love story. But what was supposed to be a celebration ended up turning into headlines that left everyone asking, what really went down that night? Here's the thing about putting your relationship in the spotlight. Eventually, the truth finds its way out. And on Super Bowl Sunday, that truth didn't just whisper, it showed up, loud and clear. Before the game even began, something between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs felt different. During Super Bowl weekend, a reporter asked Cardi what seemed like the easiest question ever. What do you want to say to Stefon before the big game? For months, she'd been his biggest supporter, always hyped and full of energy. But this time, no smiles, no excitement, just two quiet words, good luck. Then she turned and walked away. That tiny moment said more than a whole paragraph ever could. Fans who had followed their love story noticed immediately. The usual sparkle was gone, and everyone online could feel the shift. Social media users started analyzing everything, her tone, her expression, even her body language. Before a single play happened on the field, people were already convinced something was off. And as clips of that interview spread, the internet turned into one big investigation zone. Viewers began piecing together the signs, comparing how close the two had once been to how distant they now seemed. It was clear whatever was happening behind the scenes had started long before kickoff, and everyone watching could sense that the story was changing right before their eyes. That kind of sudden change doesn't just come out of nowhere, it usually has a story behind it, and soon enough, that story started surfacing through reports and social media chatter. According to several outlets, one of Stefon Diggs' former partners arrived at the Super Bowl with her child, both proudly wearing his jersey and sitting front row. On its own, that might seem completely reasonable. After all, it's his child's big moment too. But what caught everyone's attention was the timing and the setting. Reportedly, this was someone who had been in Diggs' life before his relationship with Cardi B, meaning two parts of his personal world were suddenly in the same place on one of the biggest nights of his career. Then came more headlines. Online sources claimed a woman named Pri, allegedly once linked to Offset, was spotted near the Patriots' practice area with what appeared to be a team access pass. While none of these reports have been officially confirmed, the speculation alone had fans talking non-stop. Think about how messy that looked from the outside. Rumors suggesting past connections, crossing into new ones, all during the most high-pressure game of the year. And when the Super Bowl finally kicked off, things didn't go as planned. The Seattle Seahawks dominated the field, beating the New England Patriots 29-13. It wasn't the close, thrilling matchup fans were expecting. Diggs had a quiet game, managing only a few catches and no major plays, which only fueled more conversation online. By the end of the night, the spotlight had shifted completely, from football glory to personal drama that no one saw coming.
He just makes me feel safe and very confident and very strong. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I was literally having a panic attack. One time he just told me it's like, let me heal you. Give me a chance for me to heal you. And it's like, okay.
The world was watching that night, and every move was under the spotlight. Cardi B made a brief surprise appearance during Bad Bunny's halftime show, just a few seconds on stage, that had fans expecting a full-on performance. But right after halftime, she disappeared from the stadium completely. She didn't wait for the game to end, didn't post any cheering messages, and didn't show up for post-game moments. She just left. What made her exit even more surprising were the reports about what she had planned next. According to entertainment insiders, Cardi had allegedly spent over $1 million on a massive Super Bowl after-party meant to celebrate Diggs' big night. But with the game ending in a tough loss, that party never happened. The celebration turned into silence, and that huge investment seemed to vanish with it. Not long after, social media noticed something else. Cardi and Stefon Diggs had unfollowed each other on Instagram. A source reportedly told Entertainment Tonight that the pair had recently split, though it wasn't clear if it was permanent. Still, the vibe online suggested that this was more than a small disagreement.
Then came the rumor that shook everything up even more. Unverified online claims suggested Diggs was seen with a close female friend shortly after the game. No official confirmation, no photos, no verified sources, just whispers that quickly spread across social media. Even without proof, the speculation took over timelines everywhere. Later that night, Cardi posted a short, cryptic message that simply said, "Done," and fans immediately started connecting the dots. Whether or not the rumors were true, the internet had already drawn its own conclusions, and by morning, the story had taken on a life of its own. She wasn't just walking away from the game that night, she was walking away from the relationship too. And what made it all hit even harder was the timing. Reports said Cardi B and Stefon Diggs had just welcomed a new baby boy a couple of months earlier in November 2025. The family was still in its earliest stages, and now everything seemed to be unraveling in front of millions of people. But what really had social media buzzing was the sense of déjà vu. Fans couldn't help pointing out that Cardi had faced public relationship challenges before, and the person from that earlier chapter, Offset, was reportedly watching it all unfold. He didn't stay silent either. His reactions quickly spread online, sparking endless debate. To understand why his comments hit so hard, you have to look at the history between them. Cardi's past with Offset wasn't just a headline, it was a long, complicated story of public ups and downs, breakups, reconciliations, and rebuilding. She had poured her energy into moving forward, creating a new chapter for herself, and showing everyone she had closed that old door for good. So when Offset chimed in after the Super Bowl drama, it wasn't just gossip, it was a reminder of how far Cardi had come and how public her journey had always been. For fans, it wasn't about football anymore. It was about watching a woman who had already fought to reclaim her peace face another very public test of strength. This was a woman who had rebuilt herself from one of the most public breakups in hip-hop history. Cardi B had pieced her life together step by step, determined to move forward and find peace. With an open heart, she thought she had finally turned the page, only to walk into a situation that might have been just as chaotic. Cardi and Offset's story had always been larger than life. Their relationship began with secret vows in Atlanta back in 2017, followed by a grand public proposal that same year. When their daughter Culture was born in 2018, fans believed they were witnessing hip-hop royalty building a legacy. But behind the glamorous image, their relationship faced serious challenges almost from the start. Not long after their wedding, rumors of Offset's infidelity began circulating online, creating constant waves of speculation. From that point on, their relationship became a cycle of breaking up, reconciling, and then repeating the same pattern under intense public scrutiny. Every move, every post, every emotion played out in real time for the world to see. In 2020, Cardi filed for divorce, but later withdrew it, saying she wanted to try again. By late 2023, she went live on Instagram announcing she was single, and by mid-2024, she officially filed for divorce once more. By that time, she seemed emotionally exhausted, ready to close that chapter for good. It wasn't just the constant drama that wore her down, it was the pressure of living out every personal struggle under a global spotlight. After years of rebuilding, Cardi was finally trying to protect her peace and focus on herself, even as the world kept watching every move she made. That clip of Cardi talking about Stefon Diggs showed how much she valued feeling safe and supported, but that need came from everything she had been through before. Cardi later revealed in interviews that her previous marriage had taken a serious toll on her emotionally. She described feeling completely drained, unable to sleep, eat, or even focus on her work. It was a time when she felt she had lost control of her own peace. So when Stefon came along and told her the kind of reassuring words she'd been craving, she believed him. She let her guard down. After officially separating from Offset, Cardi spent about 6 months single, staying quiet, focusing on healing, and learning how to rebuild her confidence. Then Stefon entered the picture. By mid-2025, the two were everywhere, posting vacation photos, celebrating milestones, and sharing glimpses of what looked like a fresh new chapter for both of them. Fans loved seeing her smile again. By September 2025, she sat down with Gayle King on CBS Mornings and announced her pregnancy, glowing and confident as ever. Just 2 months later, in November, their son arrived. Everything seemed to be falling into place: love, family, and balance. Was it fast? Maybe. But at that moment, it looked like Cardi had finally found the calm she had been searching for after years of emotional ups and downs. No doubt about it, things moved fast, but Cardi truly believed she had finally found peace after years of emotional ups and downs. That's what made the early warning signs feel so unexpected when they began to appear. Reports soon surfaced painting a complicated picture of Stefon Diggs' personal life. Media outlets claimed he was the father of multiple children with several different women, all within a short period of time. While some fans brushed it off as part of his past, others began questioning how much Cardi really knew about what she was stepping into.
Then came even more headlines. By late 2025, Diggs was reportedly dealing with several legal disputes, including a case involving a former employee, allegations he strongly denied, calling them completely false. There were also mentions of separate lawsuits tied to public disagreements and online statements. The overall narrative became increasingly complex, and social media couldn't stop dissecting every detail. What had looked like a picture-perfect love story was now surrounded by rumors and controversy, leaving fans wondering if Cardi's new chapter was about to face the same kind of turbulence she had worked so hard to escape. What made this whole situation hit fans so hard was that Cardi reportedly saw the red flags early on. Sources said she drew clear boundaries with Stefon Diggs from the start, telling him directly that if any new relationship drama or outside claims surfaced after they made things official, she'd walk away for good. She was determined not to repeat her past mistakes and to protect her peace this time around. At first, everything seemed fine. When Cardi went public with Diggs in April 2025, Offset appeared calm about it, even saying publicly that he was happy for her. But that energy didn't last long. Just a couple of months later, in June, Offset posted and quickly deleted a message that many fans read as subtle shade, calling Cardi's new relationship rollout good PR. By September, when Diggs made his debut with the New England Patriots, Offset reacted again online, posting the word trash with an emoji that sparked endless social media debates. Then, in December 2025, unverified rumors began circulating about a possible argument between the two men at a nightclub, claims Cardi quickly denied. Still, it was clear there was some lingering tension between them. Then came January 2026. Following the legal issues Diggs faced, allegations he strongly denied, Offset jumped online with a short but powerful post: "I won." No context, no follow-up, just 2 words that sent the internet into a frenzy. For fans, that single post summed up years of messy history, heartbreak, and rivalry, all wrapped up in one viral moment that had everyone talking once again. Everyone online knew exactly who Offset's "I won" post was aimed at, and the internet exploded with reactions. The tone, the timing, and even the punctuation made it clear that he was enjoying the moment a little too much. It was pure social media irony, because Offset hadn't actually done anything to win. He hadn't changed or made any big moves. He had simply waited. And when things between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs started falling apart in front of millions, Offset was there, watching it all unfold in real time. Not long after, a popular parody fan account summed up the internet's reaction perfectly with a viral post that hit over 6 million views. The post read, "Cardi and Stefon Diggs just unfollowed each other. She had his baby 2 months ago, and now he's facing rumors about being seen with a close friend right after the Super Bowl loss." It ended with the line, "Stefon Diggs is worse than Offset." The post even featured an AI-edited video clip using footage of Margot Robbie from The Wolf of Wall Street, reimagined to match the fan drama. It blended pop culture, fan rivalries, and digital creativity all into one viral storm that took over every corner of social media. Before long, the phrase "worse than Offset" turned into a full-blown debate. People flooded timelines and comment sections, trying to decide who had been the bigger heartbreaker, Diggs or Offset. Fans argued that while Offset's history with Cardi was complicated, at least their relationship had deep roots and time behind it. It became the question of the week online. Was this new heartbreak really worse, or just history repeating itself in a new spotlight? With Stefon Diggs, everything seemed to fall apart fast. Less than 2 years after the romance began, the relationship was reportedly over, and a newborn baby was caught in the middle of the public fallout. The speed of it all made the situation feel even more intense. In the hours and days following Super Bowl Sunday, social media completely lit up. Every platform was filled with reactions, opinions, memes, and endless commentary. Celebrities, sports analysts, podcast hosts, and fans from all corners of the internet were weighing in. Nobody was holding back. The timeline turned into a digital firestorm. Even rapper 50 Cent joined in, posting lighthearted jabs at Diggs about losing both on the field and in love on the same night. Fans followed suit, adding their own jokes and takes. One viral post read, "Not Stefon Diggs losing the game and the girl in one night," while another added playful exaggerations about his rumored dating history. But behind all the jokes and viral memes, a deeper conversation started taking shape. People began talking seriously about how quickly high-profile relationships can crumble under pressure, and how the internet often turns real human heartbreak into entertainment. The reactions were funny to some and frustrating to others, but one thing was clear. This wasn't just another celebrity headline. It had turned into a full-blown cultural moment, showing just how invested people had become in Cardi B's story, and how fast the world reacts when fame and love collide. The situation sparked a much bigger conversation online, one about patterns, choices, and what it really means to keep trusting someone who might not deserve that trust. People were debating whether the fault lies with the person who keeps believing or with the one who keeps disappointing. It hit hard because it was a real, relatable truth. Then came more reports about Stefon Diggs' ongoing legal situation. According to media outlets, a February 13th court date connected to his case was postponed so he could play in the Super Bowl. Diggs has continued to deny all wrongdoing, calling the accusations false. But the optics of it all made the conversation even louder. Fans pointed out that he had been given a major opportunity to shine on one of the biggest stages in sports, and yet things still fell apart, both on and off the field. No championship win, no happy ending, and reportedly no more relationship with Cardi either. For many watching, it was a reminder that success and fame don't always fix what's broken underneath. It was loss after loss, and the world couldn't stop talking about it. What made this entire situation sting for so many people was how uneven the relationship looked from the outside. Fans couldn't help but point out that throughout the whole timeline, from the first time they were spotted together to the final social media unfollow, Cardi B appeared to be putting in most of the effort. She showed up for Stefon Diggs at every game, bundled up in freezing weather, cheering him on from the stands. She promoted his wins online, celebrated his milestones, and defended him publicly, even when headlines turned negative. When reports about his legal troubles surfaced, many people urged her to walk away, but she stood by him. To the public, it looked like Cardi was giving her all, her time, her energy, and her loyalty. And that's why fans began asking the question, what did she really get back in return? One interview moment especially caught people's attention. When comedian Funny Marco asked Diggs about possibly proposing to Cardi, his response wasn't what fans expected. Instead of offering a heartfelt answer, he joked that he had to get his Super Bowl ring first. It was lighthearted, sure, but it also said a lot about where his priorities seemed to be. That short exchange quickly went viral, becoming a moment fans used to highlight just how differently the two might have viewed their relationship. The Seattle Seahawks made sure that no rings were handed out that night, neither on the field nor in love. Social media summed it up perfectly with one viral line. Offset won the Super Bowl without even putting on a jersey. But while some people online were quick to blame Cardi B, calling it her own misstep, others saw a much bigger picture. Commentators who had followed the story closely said this wasn't just about one woman choosing the wrong partner, it was about a deeper pattern. A cycle where women give endless support, loyalty, and emotional effort to relationships that don't return that same energy or respect. That's why the real message to come out of all this chaos was simple but powerful. Sometimes you have to choose yourself. Because when all the noise, memes, and viral moments fade away, Cardi B is still one of the most successful artists of her generation. She's a Grammy-winning rapper with hit records that shaped an era. She's a mother who stays focused on her family and her growth. And she's an entertainer who keeps her career moving forward no matter what gets thrown her way. Now, with her Little Miss Drama tour set to kick off on February 11th, it's clear she's turning the page once again, proving that no matter what happens in love or life, she always finds a way to rise back to the top. Just 2 days after the breakup, the story completely exploded online. While Cardi B began moving forward, Stefon Diggs was reportedly preparing for a February 13th court appearance connected to his ongoing legal situation, an issue he continues to deny. Sports analysts began openly questioning what this might mean for his NFL future. As one commentator put it, the league can handle a lot, but bad press and uncertainty don't mix well. When reporters asked Diggs what was next after the game, his response was vague. No clear plan, just trying to stay focused and move forward. The uncertainty only fueled more speculation about what the next chapter of his career might look like. Meanwhile, Offset seemed to be watching everything unfold from the sidelines. He's now focused on co-parenting his 3 children with Cardi, but the timing of his posts didn't go unnoticed. Many felt like he couldn't resist weighing in on the situation, especially after his earlier I won message that spread across every social feed. Offset had previously admitted during a 2025 podcast that his own behavior and lack of appreciation had pushed Cardi away, and while he took some accountability in words, his online actions painted a different story. From deleted tweets to subtle comments, it seemed like he was still caught between regret and a little bit of rivalry. In the end, it was a tale of 3 people navigating heartbreak, ego, and public perception, all under the brightest spotlight possible. "Let me heal you." Those were reportedly the words Stefon Diggs said to Cardi B when she was still recovering from her past heartbreak, when she was trying to rebuild her trust and find peace again. She believed in that promise. After leaving a difficult situation, she took time to focus on herself, thinking she was ready to start fresh. But instead of finding calm, she ended up in another whirlwind that unraveled even faster and even more publicly.
The healing never really came. What followed were tough headlines, unverified rumors, and a public breakup that played out in real time while millions of people watched and weighed in. There was the disappointing Super Bowl outcome, speculation about Diggs' personal life, and a canceled million-dollar party that turned into yet another symbol of how quickly things had changed. But if there's one thing that's always been clear about Cardi B, it's that she never stays down for long. Through every scandal, setback, and heartbreak, she's shown a rare kind of resilience. Each time the world counted her out, she found a way to stand back up, louder and stronger than before. She might stumble, she might make choices that don't work out, but she never lets them define her. That's what keeps people watching, talking, and rooting for her. Because no matter what the story looks like today, Cardi always finds a way to turn the chaos into a comeback. She might love deeply, move fast, and sometimes trust the wrong people, but one thing about Cardi B is certain: she always gets back up. No matter the headlines or the heartbreak, she returns to what she does best, dropping music, owning the stage, and reminding everyone exactly why the world fell in love with her in the first place. And now, just 48 hours after one of the most talked about breakups of the year, while Stefon Diggs faces an uncertain future and Offset stays active online, Cardi B is stepping into the spotlight once again. On February 11th, 2026, she'll be in Palm Springs, kicking off her Little Miss Drama Tour, performing for thousands of fans who showed up not just for the music, but for her strength, her honesty, and her unshakable confidence. Because at the end of the day, the only ring that truly matters isn't one you wear, it's the spotlight she's earned through talent, hustle, and perseverance. That's the space where Cardi has always belonged, and that's exactly where she's headed next. What do you think? Will this next chapter finally be the one where Cardi finds lasting peace and focus? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that keep the culture talking.